This is Adam Barber, straight from the Bahamas. This song right here is Little Cap XP money. You already know how this one's about to go down. Wow, wow, wow.
Hey, what happened to old Cap, the platinum gold cap? He sees the artist, your brain is a function, the same scene, start making dope tracks. And what are those dope tracks? The numbers and gold plaques, the ego just goes mad. All of a sudden you're over the limit and you just go full crash. I'ma be honest for a second, I really hate my greatest hits, cause everyone think that they golden, but they ain't really fucking shit. I'm on my facts, I'm on my truth. This for the young me you wanted to prove. Everybody rush on what he could do, but he kept falling and fucking losing, yeah. Who said they can't be two goals, cause me and P shouldn't have started a goal. For so many years I've been working and people be telling me I'ma fall off and go broke. But I made it, I'm in the conversation. Work so fucking hard, yeah, what the fuck is suffocation? Ayy, been grinding, I've been fucking stepping. Ayy, been finding purpose, yeah, I'm lethal, feeling like a weapon. I've been saying it's my year, if you do not think the same, let me tell you some, bitch. Get the fuck out of my face, yeah.
Big bands if they wanna see man, bitch I need big bands. If they wanna see man, bitch I need big bands. Me and Little Cap doing stages like the big bands. If they wanna see man, bitch I need big bands. You know what I'm saying? They wanna sign me cause I'm insane. 2 hours after I got the train, cause I got that steam. Running the game, don't look at your eyes, you'll fuck up your brain. If you was charting before I came, but now you don't, I'm cool with it plain. Cause I'm a golden ticket rapper, guaranteed and insured. Set the booth alight, I left them puzzled like I'm Jigsaw. Man turn into haters, that's why I prefer the chicks more. I came in with Zelda, like I'm Nintendo 64. I ain't popping Molly, I'm with Molly and I'm popping off. Yeah, we running Oxy, run up on me and I'm popping off. Show you how the British do it, wicked, this is lock and stock. No love for the feds, I call Mando here to drop a cop. Do not get it twisted, cause you see me on a pedal bike. Where I'm from, used to pedal white, Sony or Helenite. R1 was my motorbike, when I ride past, better step aside. You don't wanna see ghetto life, so shut up and give me them big bands. If they wanna see man, bitch I need big bands. If they wanna see man,
need to get the newer version of the bot from ethelred.
do the stages like the big bands. If they wanna see man.
Yo, shout out to the man, I miss you, man. I miss you, man. I miss you, man.
Can you hear me? Did you turn the music off? I have the stream muted, so I can't hear it.
Fuck you, idiot. Hello! Okay, so everyone who's watching the stream has been able to hear Danton talk, but not me until now. Because, you know, too many sliders and things to press all at once. But yes, there was music up until pretty much a few seconds after I joined Discord with you. Okay. And now there isn't. Hopefully DMC free, because I mean it doesn't make any difference in terms of money, but I can get banned if you know, and then I can't stream anymore. Or I don't know. Maybe I can. Maybe I'll just create a new account. Don't know exactly.
I mean, I've seen cases where sort of in the VOD, don't they just mute sections of the VOD if there's like royalty, you know, music that's not royalty free?
Yeah, so they've always done that, but recently they've been a lot hotter on also banning people. So they will mute it, and then they'll give you a strike and 3 strikes, and they close your Twitch account.
So you do get some warning at least.
Yeah, I mean, basically when you log into Twitch, you know, there's a particular screen where it says, you know, you have 3 strikes left. And it's since that screen has appeared that I've been like, you know, maybe I won't play, you know, music that I can get copyrighted for. I do have a YouTube channel I put VODs on, and I have had, you know, Disney has complained that you used the soundtrack to, you know, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs for your dwarf streaming, because we used to use a snippet of I ho every time a dwarf got killed.
I wonder, I mean, how Disney even track that. Do they have a bot that just, sort of trolls through YouTube videos looking for little snippets?
I assume so. Yeah, I assume it's very much automated, and I have heard things about bots getting mixed up between like the really good singers and and actual clips and stuff. It can't tell the difference, and people have been struck for singing songs which
For doing covers.
yeah, which is it's complicated. So a cover isn't necessarily fine, but a cover of an old enough song is. So if you cover an old song, you can't get DMC struck. Like 50 years, I think is the limit, right? It might be older than that.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can play like songs over. I'm not sure if it's 50 years what the cutoff is, but there is a cutoff after which royalties completely sort of expire, don't they?
Well, where writing royalties expire, yeah. So
I mean, things like Mozart and Beethoven, things like that. You can play that basically now without any penalties.
Without having to pay Mozart's estate.
Yeah.
But if you played, some choir doing, Ave Maria, you'd still have to pay royalty. You'd still have to pay the artists or the recording company for that music, right? So it's a bit more complicated than that. But yeah, there is.
But with classical music, I imagine it's pretty hard to kind of pin down, which orchestra is playing the piece and, from which CD kind of thing.
You'd think so. One of my friend's dads runs a classical music, or used to run a classical music shop in central London. And the guy who was essentially the storefront could recognise particular recordings and could tell you, which orchestra a recording was, of a variety of different things. He had like a shop of basically tons and tons of classical music. But anyway, that's so people can do it, and I assume there must be telltale signs that the bots can recognise as well if they're it's probably better than a human can.
I mean, since the internet sort of came into existence, the whole royalties thing has just become such a minefield.
So one thing that isn't mentioned a lot is that you're allowed to do stuff live, and one thing that's not been tested in court yet is the fact that there is a delay on Twitch streams. So there have been lots of is this actually live performance or is this actually recorded with a 5-second delay? It counts as recorded, and a lot of music companies have taken people, have threatened people with court action over the fact it's not really live, and that's where a lot of the very recent "oh my god, we've got to ban everything" has come from, is from threats that they're going to be done with recording charges rather than performance charges, which is.
I mean, that comes down to how you define live, though, because even if something is technically live, let's say something is being broadcast on the other side of the world, there's still a delay in that signal getting to another country.
Yeah, but it's not been tested in law yet, which is where I don't think anyone actually wants to test it in law. No one really wants to fight the case on either side. It's easier for the record companies to go, yes, we're gonna charge you for this, and most of the the big infrastructure involved is we kind of don't mind paying for it. It's fine. We'll ban people. We'll look like we're doing due diligence at least.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do think if it went to court, it wouldn't stand up. But it's where a lot of the recent oh my god, we've got to get rid of everything comes from.
Yeah.
Because I think on Twitch you're not allowed to do karaoke anymore, or any kind of things that would be covered by allowable, live performance stuff.
It is pretty crazy though, because I mean, there's also, an argument to say that if people, let's say, if you're using someone's music on your stream, or performing, or just reproducing, I mean, you are in a way promoting them for free.
I mean, the complexities of that is is lost on Metallica, at least, right? I mean, Metallica are now available on streaming services, but they fought against it for a very long time, and were very anti the idea of anything using any of their kind of IP of any kind whatsoever. As a prominent example, there were a bunch of other musicians who are like that. There are a lot of people who don't see the positive advertising of someone covering or doing little things.
It's a very gray area. I mean, I think that Spotify has definitely, I think, been a big leap forward in terms of a platform where artists are getting paid, and it's kind of a win-win for artists and consumers. Maybe artists could argue that they're getting less money than through the previous sort of channels, or conventional distribution means, but definitely, just looking at how the internet works, something like the Spotify model just seems to make the most sense.
I mean, yeah, definitely. It's the Spotify model is the way now, right?
Pretty much, yeah. But I mean, it is the way in terms of just straightforward music streaming. But then, obviously, we have all of these crossovers with YouTube and Twitch.
And each country is specifically weird as well. So, if we're talking about beyond music of all kind of rights, because like Twitch, we're talking about video, really, right? The BBC has some very interesting rights and stuff in the UK that actually not everyone has, and that trying to reconcile what the BBC can and are allowed to do with what they've recorded and created, and comparing that to what private companies are allowed to do is kind of funny. Anyway, should we talk about OCC?
Yeah. It's a bit of a rabbit hole, so we probably should talk a bit of Blood Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've gone down as far as the rabbit hole as we need to. I think we covered it well enough, or at least we've talked about everything that I know, which is the extent of it, right? All right, so first game of the week of OCC, whatever week this was, I've forgotten already.
Week
5. Yeah,
5,
so halfway, exactly halfway. Excellent. And I'm kind of perched slightly in an odd position physically in front of my computer. So the point of that was, keyboard usage. Yeah. So I'm like moving. There might be some rustling noises as I try and reach for stuff, because my keyboard is currently underneath the microphone. Anyway.
I mean, when you said you had trouble with your computer, I mean, now I'm sort of thinking, what is going on in terms of your setup? If your computer was acting up and now you're sort of precariously perched with different things on top of other things, I don't know. My imagination is boggling.
Yeah, so I mean, there is my streaming computer, which has been like playing up, as in it was creaking before I restarted it, which may be because I left it open for a long time. Without restarting for like days, or it might be that there's a web page in particular that had a runaway process, because Firefox, when I closed Firefox, I think it seemed to improve. And to be more specific, there's a Minesweeper page that was linked from Eliod's Discord some time ago that Store uses, and it's like Minesweeper but with seasons and achievements and that kind of stuff. Anyway,
like mega Minesweeper.
Yeah, and basically, I think that might have been slowing the computer down a bit. But since restarting, it's fine. Oh no! Just as I say that, Discord says encoding overloaded for a second. which is what it says when the stream kind of dies a bit. But no, it seems to be fine. All right, cool. So yeah, I might occasionally. Anyway, yeah, this game 2-0 to Wolfbark against Kielstad.
Yeah, I did watch a fair bit of it, and I mean, it was I think I watched the whole of the first half and part of the second half, but basically, Wolfbark beat up a lot of vampires, and you know, there was quite a well-timed wizard kind of. Kielstad, funnily enough, he didn't try. You know, normally he goes for kind of 2-turn scores right off the bat, and he did kind of hold back a bit and try and sort of semi-stall until he'd kind of lost a vamp or two, and then rushed forward with the bull on his, you know, big strength 6 vamp, which got lightning bolted. And after that, I mean, it was just, you know, gradually the underworld overwhelming the vamps with numbers, with the pawn pieces, and yeah, I think it was a pretty comfortable win in the end for Wolfbark.
So he did palm a lot, did he?
Reasonable amount, yeah. I mean, I can't remember if it was every hit, but I mean, quite a few hits he was palming, yeah. I mean, he's got 2 of them, so he can afford to kind of palm with one and have the other one covering ground.
Yeah, but it's still putting someone on the ground who's, you know, going to end up being further away, right? He hasn't got. There's quite a small number of blocks as well, so I imagine that was diminishing players really adding up. But yeah, he hasn't got jump up or anything, so you know, when one of them palms and they're both movement bust, their movement is massively curtailed, right?
Yeah, but they are, I mean, vamp killing pieces. They've got everything you need to kind of.
I mean, they're everything killing pieces. There's not much they can't kill, right?
Yeah, but what I mean is that vamps specifically, you know, tend to kind of give teams trouble because they're not easy for other teams to get rid of.
The combination of usually dodge and strength 4 means.
Yeah, and exactly. Blodge strength 4 is normally a bit tricky, but here, I mean, you know, obviously they've got tackle and horns, which kind of cancel both of those out.
Mm. And a lightning bolt against the strength 6 as well. So
yeah, exactly. He just needed not to roll a 1 on that, and that took care of the strength 6. But yeah, I mean, still very solidly played by Wolfbark. Because it was one of those games that could have been tricky for the Underworld if the Vamps, you know, started to get a bit of momentum, but they basically never got going.
Okay, and yeah, well, only one person. Well, so 2 people thought Wolfbark would win, and you thought it would be a draw, or at least you went for a draw because you. I guess were gambling that me and ethelred would lose points on it.
Yeah, I just thought it was a bit of a lottery in terms of what could happen. So yeah, I just kind of went for something different.
So yeah, I've reset the points on the predictions, and we'll add them to ethelred's channel each time we do this, because that way, or maybe ethelred will turn up. But yeah, he didn't actually say what he was busy. He just said he had a meeting. Yeah.
He had a meeting. Yeah.
Cool. All right. So the next game was Lasker's 90 Knights against my team. Oh wait, no, was it? Am I missing a game, or is that right? Yeah, that is right.
No, yeah, you're right. So yeah. I think you got a bit beaten up, did you, in this game?
Yeah, I got. You know, it felt like horrifically beaten up. It wasn't too bad to start with, but you know, the fact that they had like 14 players and I had 12.
So you were missing your Palmer and your strength 4 runner right after our game.
Yeah, so the Palmer got the Palmer is now, you know, no more. Right. AV6 is not something I want to keep on a team of Norse, especially. But the runner I think I'm keeping. I haven't really decided. I've got dwarfs next, and Blodge against dwarfs with a niggle in not happy times. So yeah, but basically yeah. So I had 12 players. I think I had Boomer as well, so 13 with Boomer. And
Were you home or away?
I was
You're
away,
right?
away, so no cheap stars.
Yeah.
And just it wasn't too bad in the first half, but it was his drive. He was whittling me down, and then in the second half, I did try the one turn. No, I didn't. No, different team. Sorry, game mixed up between lol.
Because you didn't have any movement 7, did you?
No.
And was he fouling a lot?
Yes, yeah, of course he was. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that helped him build his advantage. He might not have actually. The fouling might not have done very much, though, if I remember rightly. I don't think it was the fouling that did any removals. I think it was mostly, actual just punching things and then just disappearing. It mostly again in the second half. So I ended up scoring quite quickly because of running low on players in the second half, and then he scored back.
Does this team have any Mighty Blow? I think it just has one, is it? Or
yeah,
two?
it has one knight who's got Mighty Blow. Nothing on the yeoman who would. Oh, wait, that's not true. No, 2 yeomen have Mighty Blow as well. And it is one where I did more permanent damage to him. So as you can see, there was a that was an agi bust to already movement bust blocker. And
I imagine he'd keep it.
You think so?
Well, yeah, because I mean, it's just one of those pieces that, especially with Stand Firm, that you're just mostly going to be using it to mark stuff.
I mean, he's got the money to replace one. Wouldn't it be better to have one more for the next game? I don't know. And he's only got normals, so it gives him a chance to roll something better.
I mean, he could use the money just to buy more linemen as well.
Was it that it might be actually that he was agi bust, and because he was agi bust, he got stuck, and then he got the movement bust. I can't remember which way around it was. He'd already used the. I think the Apo was the blocker died, the strength up blocker died, and he Apo'd him into MNG.
Right, so it's not a niggle, it's just an MNG.
No, it's just an MNG. I thought it was a niggle, but it is. I just vaguely remembered him me doing more permanent damage when I was looking at the.
Yeah.
But actually, Ewan's going because strength bust is a firing, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, it's a rookie liner as well, so there's no reason to keep that.
Yeah.
I mean, it is one of those matchups, funny enough, where those blockers having wrestle is not a bad thing.
Yeah, no. In fact, I don't know. I don't think it was particularly decisive. That oh my god, I'm getting. I didn't feel like I was being wrestled a lot. If that makes sense.
I meant more the fact that they have Mighty Blow. It kind of makes no difference that they have wrestle.
Yeah, that's true. Well, so at high TV, I don't think it actually does make a lot of difference because most teams have a lot of block at 1800, right? So having wrestle instead of block rarely gives you that much more advantage. Obviously, I guess if you're blitzing, you can pick out someone who's got the least amount of protection skills.
I mean, I love wrestle as a skill for linemen mostly, or for either for a dedicated sort of sacking piece or for linemen. I mean, where it kind of is a bit awkward with the Bretts is that the blockers are kind of neither. They're neither a kind of throwaway fodder linemen, or they're not really dedicated sacking pieces unless you kind of got maybe an edge up on one or something.
Yeah,
like that.
I was about to say if one of them rolls an edge up, then it's like a weird position where you actually would take it, whereas normally, like in your strength access people, you wouldn't bother. But with wrestle built in, wrestle agi up and strip, it's already pretty good, right?
Yeah, and tackle. Anyway, I mean his team is still pretty solid.
Yeah, and he's almost 300 TV short for the next game because of those 2 missing blockers. Still at 1600, It's a pretty big Brett team.
Yeah. It is. I think I have to play them last game of the season. It'd be interesting to see what the team looks like then.
And only one person thought that that Lask would actually win this, and that was ethelred. Annoyingly. All right. So which one's the next game?
One is my game against
Ah.
Hilnick. Yeah. So actually managed to win it. It was so first half he won the toss. He put me in to receive, which is always kind of annoying, and I tried to kind of hold out as long as possible, kind of doing a bit of side switching, etc., until he was putting me under too much pressure. And had removed a couple of players. I think I had to use my apple on something, or what though, or maybe not. But anyway, basically, I had to make kind of a push up the right flank with my. I did buy a third catcher before the game because he rebought his wolf. He had another rookie wolf, so I thought it was a good opportunity to get a third catcher, which I've kind of been wanting to do for a while. And I was able to make a breakaway with 3 catchers up the right. And I think I gave him 3 turns to score back. It was basically as long as I could stall. I did have the wizard and the bribe. Didn't really foul hardly at all in the first half, but the wizard was key because his turn 7, he made a push down his right flank to kind of get his ball carrier ghoul in scoring range. He had the strength 4 ghoul along with it. I used the lightning bolt, which actually killed the ball carrying ghoul.
Ooh.
It was obviously, yeah, ghouls tend to die when you least want them to, and he still had I managed to get quite a lot of pieces in the way, and he still had a chance to score, but he had to roll a lot of dice.
So sorry, I might have missed this. Did he buy a new werewolf before your game, or was it after?
Yeah.
Okay.
He bought the wolf before my game, and so that's why I bought the third catcher, because I still had kind of decent inducements. And I wanted to kind of get a third catcher in. And I think he had 3+ dodge with the ghoul, then a 4+ pickup in a tackle zone, then a 3+ dodge, then a 3+ handoff to his wolf, who was like further back, closer to the LOS, but still in scoring range. And then he had to do 4+ dodge with the wolf, 3+ dodge, and 2 GFIs. And he got as far as the 4+ dodge and failed out with the reroll. So I was 1-0 at half time, and then second half I did start to get the fouling in, kind of isolating pieces, and started to remove a few of his pieces with mostly KOs, but I was getting a numbers advantage on him, and kind of went all in to pressure him on the ball, and I had my sidestepping catcher in there, who is only AV6, so it was a bit risky, but he managed to survive a lot of blocks without Hilnick finding any pows on him, and eventually he was kind of forced into a 4+ dodge with his strength 4 ghoul that failed, so spilled the ball. I had a good chance to make it 2-0, but failed at 3+ with sure hands to pick up the ball, but he basically didn't have anyone in range for the scoring attempt on turn 16. So yeah, pretty happy with a 1-0 win anyway.
Yeah, pretty good. I was the only one who bet on Hilnick in this week. So both you and ethelred get a point.
Yeah. Yeah, and then my strength, you can see there on the picture, my strength 4 Blodge Blitzer he got a casualty and the MVP, so he's got a level up. Be curious to hear what you would give him. Basically, the 3 decent options I think are guard, mighty blow, or tackle. I've got Wolfbark's Underworld next, but I think the best choice for him has to be guard, generally speaking, for the team, if I just ignoring the next match.
Yeah, I agree. But you'd like more than just one tackle as well, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I mean, it's mostly the goblins, obviously, that have dodge on his team. He doesn't have, I don't think, any dodge anywhere else. Although he's got a couple of level ups pending on his throwers, I think.
Yeah, both throwers leveled up. Yeah.
But I guess guard is just something that the team needs, really.
Yeah. And strength up blodge guard, so nice.
Yeah,
like maybe
exactly. And if he lives, then it would be stand firm after that. Would be a nice piece.
Would you consider taking him on a more specialised route? What would you think about frenzy on human teams?
Frenzy is definitely an option. But it's the sort of thing on a piece like this, I'd probably like to have stand firm before frenzy. I mean, you could go guard, stand firm, and kind of throw frenzy on him as the last skill, which can kind of give him a bit of a dual kind of role, right? Where you're either like just standing in the way or frenzying into annoying places.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I guess, yeah. You're saying last skill, but that would be his like superstar skill, not his
superstar skill. Yeah. I mean, it's a human team. You don't expect them to live that long. And the catchers, the catchers can live a bit longer because you can kind of keep them a bit safer. But a blitzer is always in the front lines, and they're getting targeted a lot.
Yeah, especially your blitzers seem to be recycling themselves pretty rapidly.
Yeah. Well, I've had two superstar blitzers die. Yeah.
Yeah. You never know. One might make it eventually. And, Blodge Strength 4, pretty high up on the ability to survive, although guard's not going to be good for him, is
it? It's not. And, against Wolf Park's two killers, we've already said that Blodge Strength 4 isn't much help against them.
No. True. All right. So, yeah, I've already done the bets for you. All right, so next is... Who was next? Nibden's motivated squad against MB Carmack's Sabertooth Badge. The Chorfs against the Chaos.
I think the Chorfs won it, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. And what was the message? I did get a message from MB Carmack. I think basically saying that. He thought he was playing terribly and he didn't deserve to be in the Premiership or something completely, not playing remotely well, no idea what I'm doing, getting outplayed by the Chorfs, even though I see holes in his play. And this is one thing, I never really like it when streamers say, oh, my opponent's playing badly, because you don't know what's in their mind, right? You don't know what their plan is. So you can't know that what they're doing is a mistake.
Yeah, there are some mistakes which are obvious, right? But yeah, I mean, I understand what you're saying, that there is a lot of sort of wiggle room in terms of, that normally in any given Blood Bowl turn there are a hell of a lot of different options of things you can do.
Yeah.
Or different plans. So without knowing the entire kind of thought process, sometimes it is a bit difficult to judge, but there are cases where clearly, I don't know, that they're blocking with their big guy first when it really doesn't add anything to the turn. I mean, things like that are just obvious mistakes.
I mean, and it can be tilting when people do that, but there is also a thing in Blood Bowl where you're trying to where you might feel like, for example, you're behind and you need to take a risk, and the risk is that you do take your big guy block first,
Oh yeah,
and your own internal logic might explain something that an external person sees as bad play, right?
Yeah, but I meant more like when you're blocking with the big guy first, where it's clearly not giving you any sort of advantage to do it. But yeah, of course, there are always exceptions to breaking the sort of common sense plays.
I mean, like Artemis is I think, one of the worst at this, where he's going, "Oh my god, I'm getting beaten by a shitter who's like, oh, this is terrible play," and he's going, "Oh, I can't believe you're doing that. That's the worst thing you could be doing." It's like, well, I can see what and sometimes you can see what the opponent's trying to do, and Artemis can't, and and he just kind of brushes over
But
it.
I mean, he's an example though of a kind of what I'd call a negative kind of streamer in terms of his comments. I mean, Jimmy is a bit like that as well sometimes. But yeah, it's I'd much prefer a streamer who is kind of being a bit more constructive with the comments rather than being disparaging.
For me, the perfect, like, Eliod gets pretty close to perfection in terms of like his discussion of, and I think Rick does this as well, but I think Eliod's like one of the best at this, is his discussion of his like process of his own turn. So like going, I'm doing this because of that, and this because of that, and this is what I'm thinking. I really like that. I think you can learn a lot from that, a lot more than going that, someone saying that their opponent was making a mistake.
Yeah, definitely. I think they're both much more constructive commentators.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say Eliod is maybe technically a little bit kind of more, or has a better understanding maybe of how to break down a turn than Rick potentially. But I do like their styles. Yeah.
Anyway, so Envy Carmack was pretty unhappy with this play. He actually said that he went into the game with a game plan of trying to spread out, because the Chorfs obviously had a lot of guard, and he didn't stick to it and ended up getting into a ruck, and obviously the ruck caused him to be beaten up essentially.
I mean, it's not easy for Chaos to try and play in an agile team way though.
Yeah, although obviously that this Chorf team do kind of require they you always talk about the one team is the you have to play as the elves, even if you're the bash team, if you're the less bash team, right? And this
no, for sure. I mean, I guess I'd have to take a look at the game and how it kind of played out, but I mean, Chaos do have good kind of sniping tools, but yeah. I mean,
MB Carmack's team basically just has one killer, and everything else is a bit more general. So,
but at least he's got kind of strength 4 blitz anywhere kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess we'd have to see whether the Chorfs kind of did a good job of trapping his players, or whether he kind of just walked into it.
Yeah. And I do think that I've said before, I think Niblin is a very bashy coach, but I think you can underrate the skill in bash. You can say, oh my god, he's just basing, but actually, someone bases up in the right. There is a big difference between someone who literally has no idea what they're doing, who just bases up, versus someone who is a quality.
I thought he was pretty solid when I played against him. I mean, I felt a bit unlucky not to come away with a draw in that match. Because kind of I failed something at a crucial moment, but I thought all of his plays were very kind of sensible choices.
And no one actually thought that Niblin would win this game. You actually went for the draw, and me and Ethel went for Carmack.
I think I went for a lot of draws this time around, but yeah, I went for 3 draws and didn't get any of them. And then the last game was the Lizards against the Dwarves.
Yeah, this is a game where I went for the draw. I thought a very plausible draw.
So this is the one that the Lizards won, and I remember when we talked about this the last time, I'd said Lizards, and then we looked at the teams, and I think the Lizards were missing 2 Sauruses.
Yeah, they only had 4 Saurus, yeah.
And I said, actually, after looking at the teams, I'm not so sure about the Lizard win, but I said, screw it, I'll stick with them anyway, and they won.
Yeah. I mean, the first thing I see is that MVP being that runner. Like that was a very strong part of the team. And getting strength bust. Did you fire a movement 7 dwarf runner?
I would fire it.
I mean, the old, he's just carrying the ball, he should be behind a big screen and never get touched thing.
Yeah, but you don't really want to be. I mean, that's true in some matchups, but in other matchups where the guard, they're up against a team with a lot of guard. I mean, for example, if he's playing against the Chorfs, it just makes it so much easier to get the ball off him once he does get exposed.
It should be mentioned that the oh wait, is that a new? No. So the natural one turner with 2 movement ups, sprint, sure feet, and catch on the Lizard team was the one who scored both touchdowns, perhaps unsurprisingly, although a bit pointlessly as he's got 200 SPP already. And
well, you say that. I mean, obviously, my natural one turner ends up scoring quite a few touchdowns just because it's the easiest or the best option to do it with.
Yeah.
It's not. I mean, especially at this level, it's not that easy to just cherry pick who you're going to score with.
And the double movement bust Saurus also gets a niggle to add to his collection of injuries. So I got confused for a second because I thought this was a dwarf.
I mean, he did. I saw he got an MVP on a rookie Saurus.
Yeah.
So he could maybe even think about sacking this piece now and just getting another rookie.
I mean, that's quite a collection of injuries.
I think the niggle is the kiss of death on that one, because especially when you're facing Claw, you really don't want a piece like that niggled.
No, movement 4 means he can't even really run away from the Claw kill pieces very well.
I mean, he's built to kind of mark stuff up, so he's going to be in the thick of it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure how much he's got enough money to replace it. I think I would replace it now.
Has he managed to get the strength on the other one? I mean, the block on the other one.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Oh, wait a second. So both you and ethelred went for the Lizards. And I remember sitting there going, this is not going to win. What?
I mean, yeah, I thought they were up against it. But, Lizards always have some good tools against dwarves, right? I mean, the fact that they're so much faster than them and the strength, as long as they can kind of not get guard bullied.
Yeah, ethelred has done quite well this week in terms of points.
He got a lot of points, didn't he, in his own division, I think.
Yeah, so he's probably out of ahead of us both now. Damn it. Anyway, all right, so let's look forward to the coming week. And the first game of the week is your game against Wolfbark.
Yeah, which I think it really is. It really is a 6-point game. Well, I mean, for me at least.
Yeah.
It's. I mean, do you want to look at the leaderboard quickly?
Yeah. No, that's what I meant eventually.
Because he's actually in first place. I think he's the only undefeated team, which is very impressive for Underworld at this level. And if I beat him, then I do overtake him by 1 point. And it does kind of keep the fight for first place very very close. If he wins, then I think he really gets a very kind of firm advantage. I mean, he's 1 point ahead of the Chorfs, who have mounted a real comeback because they've won 3 in a row. So the Chorfs are very much in it.
Yeah.
But I think the result of our game can definitely make a big difference to the table. Either kind of keeping it very crowded up at the top, or potentially Wolfbark could start to kind of open up a gap. Then, I mean, Kielstad's Vamps they started strong and they've stuttered the last few games, and it's actually still a very tightly packed table. I mean, even your team is not that sort of far away from, sort of mid-table.
Yeah. I mean, but like the demotion from champs is massive, right? So the person at the bottom team goes down 2 divisions, and is it everyone below 4th gets demoted into the tier 1?
Yeah, I think it's top 4 stay up, isn't it?
Yeah. So there's still that to fight for, I guess. I'm only
it
one.
Used to be in Blood Bowl 1, it used to be even worse. It used to be the top 2 stayed up, and the remaining 8 all got demoted.
Seems a bit harsh, you know.
Yeah, it was. I think I got up to the top div 5 times in BB1, and managed one to win it once and second once. But I don't know. I prefer, I think, this way than the other way. It definitely it's a little bit more kind of rewarding, I guess, for a decent season.
Yeah. I mean, and also, like, you know, is there a point at which, when you've got so much churn, that tier 1 and the champs is broadly the same level, you know? Because if you know, is the 5th coach in champs really, you know, that much? That, you know, should they be in tier 1 really? Is that, you know, that's the question, isn't it? Although I guess with a long-term league, there's a lot of churn anyway, right? People re-rolling to new teams quite often.
Yeah, but now you do see quite a few teams kind of bouncing between the champs and tier 1. You know, you get some of these nasty teams like what is it? Is that Nurgle team that's been kind of bouncing up and down? What's it called?
Was that Tiss or whatever who does all the fouling, or the
No,
other?
not Tiss. Tiss. I don't think Tiss has been in the champs with his Nurgle team. There's the other one. What's he called? Hang on a second.
Oh look, so there are some Morning Sage's team is still here, sitting in the you know. Anyway, it's probably not that. Oh.
No. Have a look at what's he called? For goodness sake. Keep going.
Laserbrom? No, he's not been up yet. Frank's team, Frank's Fowlers, they got up and down again, didn't they?
Is this 1A or 1B?
This is everyone who's in champs or 1A or 1B. Yeah, I've just got into the whole of OCC champs 1 and 2.
Okay.
I showed champs in 1.
Keep going.
Oh, Ramos, yeah. There's some very, very old teams in here as well, right? Oh, Engelbert Hex's Poxville Paladins. Is that the Nurgle team you might be thinking of?
No.
Nope.
The moment you find it up. Nope.
Last page that we haven't looked at. Oh, there's 2. They're RTSDs, Jump Up All Stars.
Yeah, RTSD, that's the one.
And
RTSD's team has been kind of going up and down for at least sort of 5 or 6 seasons, I think, and that's a monster team.
And he's a really good coach. She's like the more annoying thing about placing
This is a sort of team that's just this is a nightmare for almost any team to face.
Yeah, and like 14 players as well. I'm playing him on Thursday or Sunday this week in another league.
Yeah.
And I think there was a season where me and RTSD played in 3 different leagues in the same week. So OFL, and UKBPL and OCC.
Yeah. I actually played 2 seasons of OFL. Mm-hmm. But back in Blood Bowl 1, when they were using the Blood Bowl 1 client,
mm-hmm.
It was a lot of fun. I took a Skaven team. And in the, I don't know if they still have the kind of the draft where you can get free agents and stuff like that.
Yeah, they still have a free agent thing, which I think makes it broadly a bit like a rebuy league, because people who run the same team can carry on three players, each era as free agents, and then people who are new get to buy from the free agent pool. I think it's
what was it? Three seasons was it in an era?
Yeah, 3 seasons of 14 games, I think.
So I actually came in with a rookie Skaven team, I think in season 2 of an era,
mm-hmm.
and I picked up in the free agent market 2 Storm Vermin, One who was a claw palming superstar, and the other one which was just, I think, like mighty blow tackle or something like that.
Yeah.
But it was also, I think I played 2 seasons and I managed to get that Storm Vermin, the claw palmer, to legend. He was only just like about 70 odd SPP when I got him. But it was just a lot of fun claw palming people with a kind of an almost rookie Skaven team.
Yeah, I mean, I think Skaven's probably a really good choice for that kind of thing as well, because they can kind of min-max really well, where you're happy when you've got a bunch of no-skill linemen and
exactly.
two or three really good players.
Yeah, I think I got to playoffs both times, but lost in the playoffs. And one thing that was a lot of fun from that league was twice they have the All-Star game. I don't know if they still have that, where that everyone kind of votes for the best players.
Oh, that's
in
a
the
good
league.
idea.
And so they used to do that where everyone votes, and then you have like you have the 2 different conferences, right? Well, they used to be 2. I don't know if it's still that way. And then so you'd have like the AFC versus the NFC or whatever it is. And I coached one of the All-Star teams twice, and that was so much fun because the teams are just so ludicrous in terms of it's like sort of 3,000 TV each team. And it's just a really kind of chaotic affair.
Yeah, they aren't doing that anymore, but that I don't know why. You could do it with the new, with the tools for building teams and stuff. I'd be up for that. I'm going to suggest they bring that back. That sounds like a great idea.
Yeah. What's he called? The guy who runs it?
Is it Yarrick, Commissioner Yarrick?
Yeah. I don't know why he. I mean, maybe there is a difference between BB1 and BB2 that made them, drop that, or maybe they just kind of.
Maybe during the crossover when the beginning of BB2 when they couldn't have built teams, because that was built teams were added in LE, so not for a long time in BB2, right?
Yeah, it'd be interesting to ask him why they don't have it anymore.
I will mention it, and I will suggest that they bring it back. not just because it's not too hard. It doesn't even require any adminning really.
No, you could just build them in terms of a custom team.
Yeah, just needs two coaches with LE and a Discord channel or 2. Yeah. Anyway, personally, it's one of my favourite leagues, and not because I won it in the first season I played it.
It's just very good in terms of a really different format.
Yeah, I do think it's very close to a rebuy format. The resetting every era, and I think that means it's a lot more fun to turn up to new than a lot of other leagues, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, exactly. Looking at RTSD's team, that is the biggest argument for this type of league kind of not being maybe the best format, but I think there's still a place for this type of league.
I mean, like the problem with the reason this type of league is the default is people love the idea of building a team like this themselves, and that is what keeps people playing Eternal leagues. And I think OFL marries that ability really well with having to replace all your other players. So you can keep 3 players and keep them going and build your legend player if you really want to. But having to reset the rest of your team is enough of a rebuy like mechanic that you don't get teams getting to 2,250 TV.
Sure. I think one, in terms of, I mean, now I think I'm only playing in a couple of leagues at the moment, but one league like this is enough for me. Sure, I think playing in more than one of this style league does start to kind of burn you out a bit.
Yeah, the only other leagues than OFL which are Eternal that I'm in now are 2 leagues that I am involved in the adminning of, so I feel a bit guilty about leaving. But essentially, my intention with Blood Bowl 2 is not to join any more Eternal leagues. I don't really enjoy them.
I don't know. I quite enjoy them, but just as like one league, as it were. And at least good thing with the OCC is you can't just take a break and come back with the same team. So it has that advantage. But yeah, so we better keep moving with the
Yeah.
the
Well,
next round.
we haven't even started, have we? We talked a
Yeah.
bit.
Well, we talked a bit about the first game between Wolfbach and myself. So it's quite interesting for the table. In terms of the actual matchup, he's going to be getting some inducements. Luckily, I'm at home, so he's not getting the altar. But I guess so. I've still got 20k to go on my team.
Yeah.
Which, as we discussed, it's probably going to be guard on the blitzer, and then it's going to depend whether he rolled normals or something a little more interesting on the throwers. But I think so. What's he coming in at? 1750 with 10k over and at least 40k in skills. So that means he's going to be at least 1780.
Yeah, but he will be able to So basically, he'll be 120 behind you with well more than enough cash to buy the wizard. Yeah. Or
so it'll be interesting to see if he goes for wizard or a star. I don't think he can't afford both, unless he kind of takes the bomber or something. But yeah, I mean, wizard is decent in the matchup. I suppose it's always something that you have in your back pocket.
I mean, I'd be concerned with you having a natural one turner and your ability to just score at will, not having an opportunity to really wizard anything.
But yeah, I mean, except that means that if I'm doing that, then I'm giving him the ball all the time, which necessarily is not. It's not necessarily a bad thing in this matchup to try and play on defense more. Because then he has to think about protecting the ball, which limits his kind of killy potential. But I don't know. We'll see. I mean, the wizard is still useful. It's not like I can just one turn at will.
I mean, I guess also having the wizard makes that makes you think about the idea of scoring sooner, which might help him in the long run. It's a balancing act of both, isn't it? Not having the wizard might mean that you basically you stall out till turn 8 and then you score a one turn and you win that way.
I mean, and going for frequent one turns is risky in itself because obviously double ones happen, GFIs fail, etc.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think he's I'd say he's the favorite possibly in this matchup, although because I've only got one tackle piece as well, and I don't think it's worth giving the strength 4 tackle because again it's only goblins, and I can still kind of get 3 dice on them with other block pieces potentially.
Both of you have pretty big teams as well. He's on 15, you're on 14.
Yeah, this is about the biggest my team has gotten for a long time. So this could be a match where I suffer a lot of attrition as well, potentially. I don't think it's worth me firing anyone.
Yeah, I was just thinking, would you drop 50 TV? But then he's got enough bank that he could buy something if he wants to anyway, right? Not really. Yeah, and it wouldn't really limit it.
Exactly. I think having 14 players here is quite good for me because I am going to be suffering some attrition for sure.
Yeah.
And also it means that I can maybe foul a little bit more freely, especially in the beginning, which would hopefully be a bit of a deterrent to his claw bombers. But we'll see. We'll see how that pans out. I mean, it could. It's one of those matches that could go either way, but definitely I don't feel.
Yeah. It's a simple balancing act of what you think is more powerful, claw palm or a natural one turner. I do think the natural one turner edges it in terms of actually winning the game. The claw palm might have worse long term effects for your team, but the chances are it's a draw or at least for you, isn't it? Whereas probably I think a win is more likely for you than for
well, it's claw palm and the wizard, right? So that's another kind of factor in the mix. But it'll be interesting with two big squads. Be interesting to see how many players are left on the pitch at the end. And yeah, I mean, I'm confident that I can definitely give it a good shot to win it. But very aware, especially he's got the Edge 4 Goblin as well, you know, to kind of retrieve any build balls. It'll be tough. Especially because, you know, given his quality as a coach.
Yeah, cool. All right, so I'm going for you winning this one. And
Okay.
I see that Gruff has already clicked on Wolfbark.
Nice.
But you know, which way you gonna put yourself for this, or go for a draw?
Yeah, I'm going for myself again. I've been going for myself recently, and it's been paying off. So I just keep going for myself.
Do you think either the betting is making you play better, or the playing better is making the betting work? Either way,
I don't know. It's working, so let's just keep doing it.
Yeah. Okay, so the next game is the 1990s against the Motivation Squad. That's interesting. So Nibbenen's Chorfs, who are 1950, missing their jump up claw pommer Chorf, but still at 13 players. Oh, well, that's 13 players, including the Ellipsis Hobgoblin, who's got a niggle. Which, you know,
So
which for
might
0
sack him?
FCP, I assume he's going to get sacked.
How many players would that leave him with? 12?
Yeah, 12. He's on 13.
I mean, you have to be a little. So what's he's giving away around 300k, isn't
he? Yeah. But but Laska's team's not exactly going in full strength either. They're getting a loner lineman at the moment, depending on whether he wants to or not replace a blocker or buys another lineman or two. He could buy two more linemen, fill himself out to 12, and
I
still
think
have 90.
I would be tempted to buy a blocker and a lineman, maybe. Although I'm not sure exactly how much that leaves over, but probably still leaves around 200 odd.
You mean actually fire the beaten up blocker and get a new one?
Yeah. I mean, just to have 3 blockers in the matchup.
Because you could also get a Merc blocker with guard.
You could get a Merc, I suppose.
But that is a lot of wasted TV if you do it that way.
Yeah, it's definitely more efficient just to have a rookie. Although, I mean, there is an argument to say if you're bringing a rookie into this matchup, then you know it's the sort of matchup where the rookie could just get killed as well.
That's true.
I don't know. It's tricky. I mean, definitely you should be trying to get a wizard and a bench. But yeah, there are different ways to approach it.
I mean, he's getting 300 TV, so a wizard will put him at 150. That would be enough to get him a bench fairly easily. I mean, he could buy 2 peasants to give him 12 players, and probably afford the wizard and the Merc yeoman as well. And you're right. Against
Merc, how much is a Merc yeoman?
120.
120 with no skills.
No skills, yeah. Well, with wrestle.
Yeah.
I think they're 90. Is that right? Or are they 70?
I think they're cheaper. I think they're
70. They're 70. Sorry, they're 70. I was just looking.
Yeah, so it's 100.
Yeah. Or 150 for one with guard. Do you really want guard? You don't. Do you really want to be fighting? You know.
Yeah.
Trying to outguard this lot. Actually, they've only got 3 guard, 4 guard.
4 guard now. Oh wait, yeah, 4. So if he goes for a Merc blocker and a wizard, that's 250. And yeah, he could do that and just buy a couple of linos or maybe even a bribe could be useful. If you went for like wizard, bribe, and Merc. Well, that's 350 already, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, he could go for maybe 1 blocker, wizard, bribe, and Merc. That wouldn't be too bad. Because then you'd have 2 bench, you have the bribe for fouling, which is useful in this matchup, and the wizard. I think I'd go for something like that.
It's still kind of scary though. What with we've spent a lot of time concentrating on the chorfs themselves with their guard and kill skills, but actually the bull centaurs being faster than any of the knights is kind of a problem, isn't it? Or being equally fast.
The same speed. But I think here, if he does get some effective fouling off, that's his best chance to kind of keep him in the match. But yeah, I mean, fouling chorfs is always tricky with the thick skull AV9.
Who do you think is going to win?
I'm going to go for a draw.
Interesting. The bot favours Nibelung. Draws probably.
Well, I think the matchup is definitely in the chorf's favour. I think, especially with the blodge of the knights kind of being mostly negated. But I think that that both these teams are kind of on a bit of a resurgence, aren't they? They both started this season badly, and then have started recently to kind of string some good results together. So I don't know. For that reason, I think that they'll kind of cancel each other out, and it'll be a draw.
Yeah, the Chorf started with the loss against me and the draw against Wolfbark, and then have won the next 3 games.
Yep.
And my position against Lasker, obviously last week getting beaten, and they beat the Vamps as well.
Yeah, they've had some good results.
You're right. They're both all their positive results have been recently for both of them.
Yeah.
It's a tough one for me. A draw is, I think, quite likely as well. But I'm going to go for Lasker winning just to be hating on the bash. All right. So next is Kilstad's Vamps against Raspal's Pontifices. The Vamps actually being the lower TV team for, probably slightly rarely for them.
So this is the sort of matchup that would normally favour the Vamps, wouldn't it?
Yeah, although the Liz is pretty fast still.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a sort of match where it's very hard to protect the ball, isn't it? As the Lizards, and kind of they could almost be getting, walking into a cage and 3-dicing the skink with the ball.
Yeah. Kielstad's Agi up Thrall got plus movement as well, so that makes him an even faster team. I think that was before the last game, but we didn't really talk about that.
Yeah. And he's down to 4 Vamps. So after he had a superstar Vamp killed, he bought a rookie that then immediately got killed.
Yeah.
Against
and he can't buy another one for another 40.
It was actually Wolfbark that killed the rookie. Can't remember if he might have piled onto it and killed it. And so I mean, he's used to kind of throwing his weight around with 5 Vamps. So with 4, he is a little bit kind of less strong, as it were.
But it also means less ability to cover all the field with both a hypno and a sacking attempt, right?
Yeah.
There's going to be more places on the field where the Lizards can get the ball that isn't vampable. And
he's only got 11 players, unless he buys another Thrall.
I think he's got. No one's missing. And he's got 4.
Oh no, sorry,
so
he's got 12. You're right. Yeah, but still, I think he could do with one more bench.
But you want to be saving up for that other vamp. 12 is kind of enough.
Yeah.
So I don't think he's going to get a Thrall. But he has 80k, so he could use the 80k to get a Merc.
You could just get a Merc, yeah. Is there anything else you can buy for 80k? Isn't there like a Merc Thrall? There's a star player Thrall, isn't there?
Igor, he's 150.
Oh, he's 150.
I think he's 150. with Regen, Thick Skull, and Dauntless. If I remember rightly,
It's quite a useful piece, but yeah, I thought he was cheaper.
he's much underrated. But yeah, for I think he might be. He's AV8 as well, although that obviously doesn't have any effect on actual blood sucking.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he's 150. I might be wrong.
So who are you going for?
As in terms of coaching, I think Kilstad is a better coach, but I'm not so sure that this is the greatest, pair of teams. I'm not sure if 4 Vamps against 5 Lizards is quite scary. I guess, and also with the Lizards,
could even be 6 if he replaces the strength, the movement 4-1.
Yeah. And no sure hands.
I don't actually, come to think of it, I don't think he's going to be replacing that Saurus in this match, because otherwise he's kind of close to he'd be giving away a wizard, wouldn't he?
Yeah, that is a possibility. I mean, but it's also worth saying that I think a lot of Raspel's wins have come from the Strength 1 strip wrestle skink with Dauntless, and to be fair, that skink's got a pretty good chance of sacking the ball even off the Strength 6 vamp, right? It doesn't matter that you're failing, that you're doing a 3-die up. If there are no skulls, you're getting the ball. That is a 50-50, isn't it?
It's still a scary play to do.
Apparently Ethelred is in chat, and he said 4 points, and Core Knight last in the table, so he's very happy about that. # winning. And he also says that Igor is 120, so I was wrong. It's 120. You see, but he's not going to spend 40 of his bank to get Igor when he's saving up for another vamp, right? That's the trouble.
Yeah.
Come join us, Ethel. Come on, we've got a little bit longer.
So who are you going to go for?
Sorry, I've just had a message from work saying that our London office is being closed because of a demise. But I think she's just auto-corrected another word. I don't think someone's died. All right. Anyway, sorry. Who am I going to go for? I'm going to go for the Lizards. Yeah. Let's go for Lizards. I think that ball sacking skink is going to win the day.
You think it's going to cause problems?
Yeah.
I think I'm going to go for the draw. I mean, I can see both teams kind of almost, well, not really scoring at will, but I think having good opportunities to score. I guess it'll come down to whether the Vamps can kind of get easy access to the ball carrier or not.
Yeah, and you said they tried to slow the score down against Wolfbark a bit. Maybe having been beaten by Wolfbark, they're going to be more going back to just scoring as quickly as possible again.
Maybe. Hello, Ethel.
Hi, guys.
Whoa, hello, Ethel.
Oh, that's not too loud.
No.
So apparently you are winning these days in every way.
In multiple ways, yeah.
Actually won a game of Blood Bowl recently as well.
You know what? I played Lizards this morning as Pro Elves because I'm riding a high of winning, and I beat them 4-0. That's all right, isn't it?
The Pro Elf way.
Was that CCL or something else?
It was worse than that. COL Danton. If I tell you that the guy had 3 each of cheerleaders and assistant coaches and 6 rerolls, that probably tells you what you need to know.
Is that why you play COL? Because you come up against shitters, as Artemis would say.
Absolutely, yeah.
Well,
you see the shitters or bangers. That's the only 2 people you meet in COL, I think.
Yeah.
Sometimes both.
Sometimes both. But no abuse in the chat, though. I was quite surprised.
Was that Pid Pad Challenge?
Yeah, Pid Pad Challenge. That's I think 26.55 I'm on with my Pro Elf team now, and they're about
So
1980, 2000 TV.
Real Exceed's playing college piece without firing it.
Your audio
You're really
is
breaking up,
up.
Cornight. I don't know what you're doing.
That's bad for the.
Jesus.
How bad is
Very
it?
badly. Really bad.
It's bad.
Oh, wait a second. No, I've not changed anything.
I mean, it sounds like there's something that's not plugged in properly.
No. There's something just dropped out.
No, I don't think so. That's why I just tried like wiggling the.
He's been Danton. He was fine up till now as well, wasn't he? Is it me?
I mean, when we started the stream, he said he was precariously perched in front of his computer with stuff on top of things. So I've just got this image in my mind of this sort of huge pile of junk that during the stream, and yeah.
He knocked it over. Hopefully, a cup of coffee's gone over his keyboard.
Yeah, he's probably it's sort of wrapped in different cables and.
This is weird. This board is so I think that
That's better.
I think OBS is working fine. I've just left the channel.
That's not better.
It's breaking up again.
It very much sounds like there's sort of like I don't know. Are you using a headset, or what is your microphone?
My microphone is not a headset microphone. I have a separate microphone. I think this is software related, and that something has just gone. For some reason.
That's all right now.
Now you're fine. It's
yeah. It was a process that was probably going that was interfering. I don't know what it was, but I will just like try not to fuck with it too much.
Probably a Windows update.
Yeah, that kind of thing. Okay.
Well,
Where
anyway, we were talking about lizards and vamps, so yeah. I reckon lizards for this, based on what you said.
Yeah, you haven't done your betting though yet, have you?
No. Oh, is that live now?
Yeah.
We're just going through it now.
Oh, and hello, Gruff. By the way, I didn't see the Gruff talking. I don't know why he's offering to abuse you, Ethelred. Have I gone silent again?
No, I said I didn't get. The Spanish guy I played this morning in COL didn't even abuse me.
Yeah. Oh, I see. Yeah.
So he said
Gruff is offering free abuse.
Yeah, got it. All right, it all fits together again. I could hear you two that whole time without any issues at all. So it was weird. But I could see the green light wasn't lighting up when I was talking in Discord. But it looks like my mic was picking up.
It literally sounded like you're sort of plugging in and unplugging your microphone all the time.
Yeah, I wasn't. And I wasn't banging into anything or doing anything like that either. So, who knows?
Or the other thing is your microphone cable like really tatty and dog-eared, if that's capable with cables, and the line is showing, and then next to an electricity socket. That could be it.
No. But it might be a bit close to electricity cables, but I don't think so. More importantly, I don't think it's moved. So I think the fact that it's dropped out and then come back again does suggest more, process related on the computer type stuff, right?
Yeah.
I have to ask Ethelred, is it the fact that he's now a winning coach? Is that reason enough to actually bet on the Chorfs winning? I thought you were such an anti-Chorf person that I'm surprised that you're betting on them.
I think I bet on the Chorfs earlier because no one else had.
But is this part of your new winning strategy?
Oh, just to be different from me and Danton, because I think Gruff had already bet on the Chorfs before us as well.
Yeah, if we're lucky, Gruff, from chat, we might have Cornight showing us spreadsheets for a bit. Do you want to hear something unrelated about spreadsheets that's a complete
You know, I always want to hear about spreadsheets. Go for it.
Is this
There's
going to be? Is this going to be the TikTok story?
Yes. Do you know it already, Danton? Have you discussed it already?
No, but I saw it in the paper.
What?
Brilliant. There's a TikTok star who's like young and attractive, and basically she shows you how to do certain functions in Excel with herself superimposed over the top of it whilst lip syncing to
And she's
popular song,
she's basically, making a fortune.
making like 400,000 followers or something ridiculous like that. So you should get that bikini out, Coordinate, and show us a bit of VLOOKUP. Do you know what I mean?
I'm sure she's probably a trained teacher or something else that means that she's really good at it, right? That's why. And I am not. I will be terrible explaining that kind of stuff, I think.
Well, she doesn't explain it. It just happens in the background as she lip syncs to pop songs. I told you, it doesn't. She doesn't. There's no teaching unless.
Okay. So she has no. Is she?
No, she is qualified. I think, sort of.
Yeah, I think she is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me find a. I'll put the link in chat.
Go for it. All right. So should we carry on to the next game, which is my game against the dwarfs, which the bot thinks is an exactly even matchup. The chance of being a draw or a win to either side is 2.0.
So what's the TV difference? You're getting some decent, aren't you?
Yeah, not very much though. So I'm on 12 players. Don't have any money to buy any more. And he's on like a bucket load of players, right? He's on 14. And the TV is 90 difference.
He's missing his runner.
He's fired the runner already.
He's fired it, yeah. That's not surprising to me.
And he's 10k short of buying a new one, so I assume he's not going to buy another player or anything else until he's got a new one.
Yeah, he's got 14 players. He really doesn't need to buy another player.
No. In fact, the opposite. There's nice TV difference, and maybe this is a game where you consider just firing one of your dwarfs, right?
Yeah. Although, what are you getting? 90k?
Yeah.
I mean, you're not getting a lot. Are you home?
Yep.
All right. So you've got your Boomer.
10K on her. Yeah.
How much is Boomer? 10k, is it?
10k with the Nuffalter, yeah.
Yeah. So obviously, Boomer's a no-brainer. And what are you going to spend the rest on? And like a Merc? Can you get a Merc lineup?
Well, I can get the chainsaw guy for like 40 as well. And then a babe.
Is a chainsaw worth it against dwarves?
Like, it's another player. It's worth it for sticking on the LOS and then him dying. It's better than losing a real player, right?
But you wouldn't put him on the LOS, would you? Because the chance of him going straight away is too high, surely.
I mean, wouldn't just a Merc lineup be better?
Yeah. Or if you get the sword, just foul him till he's 10 off, right?
Yeah, well, I mean,
of him.
Yeah, I suppose you get the babe as well.
Yeah, I think the saving, like a Merc lineman is what, 80k?
Yeah, it's not cheap. I mean, you get basically you get the Merc and Boomer, and that's
so helmet would be 60. Maybe a Merc lineman would be better than that, and I can get Boomer and a Merc essentially.
Yeah,
that'd be better. Two players that at least one will maybe stick around.
I mean, they're both secret weapons, right? So they're only playing one drive.
Yeah, but dwarfs are not going to make the game a lot of drives, are they? They're not going to shorten them.
Not going to 2-turn, are they?
No, especially with only one runner.
Yeah.
But yeah, a little bit of Mighty Blow. Scary prospect.
How much? 5 Mighty Blow, yeah. And that Troll Slayer can do some damage.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a scary game. I see Gruff has already, shown his allegiance by selecting me, which I'm very happy with, obviously.
And this is also pretty much a must-win for you, isn't it? In terms of the relegation battle, or at least, I mean, you can maybe afford to draw it, but another loss would really kind of put you in a tough spot.
I mean, yeah, I up until now, I've still been thinking about the possibility of going up the table somewhat. But yeah, from here it is very much like, can I get to fourth?
Yeah.
And actually, like fourth is only one win away.
I mean,
A win away.
You need to string a couple of wins together to kind of get some momentum.
Yeah, as long as you finish less than 7th, that'll be fine.
Why less than 7th?
Because that's where I finished in the champs when I was in the champs.
purely between me and Ethel having any kind of what's it? Yeah. Okay. So I have to go for me. I'm going for me. I've clicked on me, and I can see that ethelred has already clicked on the dwarfs. That is how much he dislikes me.
Yeah, that's done.
I'm unfortunately going for the doors as well. I just think that it's going to be a really hard matchup.
It is, yeah, I agree.
I think you're going to need your Yeti to have a huge game.
Yeah, huge game, and not get Dauntless and then pulled on, which I think might happen as well.
I mean, yeah, obviously. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of concentration on the Yeti, isn't there?
Well, we haven't talked about your strength 4 runner. He's back for this game, but I mean, I guess you have an option of sacking him. But that would definitely open up a lot more inducements, right? You could couldn't you get Cheney maybe if you sacked him?
220. I could get Cheney. You're right.
So because he has the niggle, maybe this is the match to let him go.
Yeah.
Painful as it is.
Yeah, no, I want to keep him. I need the movement 7 too much. I'm not, just because this game it's bad. I'm going to keep him. And I do hate niggles, but strength up and movement 7.
I mean, he's definitely lost his Apo privileges.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. I'm not, never say never. I might so far recently I've been using my Apo almost entirely to keep numbers. So I might Apo badly hurt with him. But yeah.
I guess a badly hurt maybe, but yeah, I can't see him, spending a lot of time on the pitch.
Yeah, the last 2 games have both been fairly removal heavy, I think. Anyway. So we all bet on that. So last game is Bunch of Gamers, Hillnick against Sabretooth Badge. Sabretooth Vagabonds, MB Carmack. And the bot has Hillnick to win this quite favourably.
So he's had his ball carrier die against me.
Yeah, that might have an effect. He's also down to 11 players.
Oh, what happened to poor old MB Carmack? He's just got his head kicked in.
Oh no, that's Hillnick's gone down to 11 players.
Oh, Hillnick.
And he's lost his movement up ghoul, which was also Blodge Step and Sure Hands.
Yeah, that got fried by my wizard's lightning bolt. And
Danton did it.
Sent to the big beyond.
And was that a spiteful one after the game was decided?
No. It was very, very much to stop him scoring. Yeah.
Oh, right.
To be fair, MB Carmack is not looking in the best of shape as well. Also has 11 players. But
giving away inducements.
Not a lot of inducements. 100k? No, less than 100k. 90k, let's say, once the skill's taken. Might be even less. Both teams have almost 0 bank as well. So Hillnick's probably not going to want to even splash out the 10k required for a bribe.
The skill is on an MNG guard, so it's not going to
actually, good point. Yeah, you're right. So no, he does get 110k then. Sorry. Yeah.
which is, I mean, 110k is. What do you even take for that?
It's a bribe.
I guess, yeah, he's got
Probably a
2 deadly
bribe.
players. Yeah, I guess a bribe, yeah.
It's either a bribe or mercs, right?
Yeah.
Or merc.
Should be okay. He did the first half against me. He did a fair few fouls, but he actually managed to foul my one turner a couple of times, but luckily no removal.
Yeah, this is gonna be a tough one, but I've already voted for here. No, I'm going to vote for Hilnick,
Yeah, I'm voting for Hilnick as well.
and so is ethelred, and so is Graf. So we all have a lot of belief in Hilnick.
I haven't voted yet.
Haven't you?
And I actually vote for MB Carmack.
Oh, okay. Just because I said that, just to be different.
Just to be different. Well,
so-
just to be different, and also coach-wise, I think MB Carmack's better, maybe, though he's ninth. I think. I could be
I don't know
wrong.
about that, but I mean, I just think that Hilnick has those 3 really annoying, kind of, the 2 golems and the strength 4 white can get a lot of work done in this matchup potentially. In terms of controlling the Chaos team, I don't know. It'll be interesting.
Difficult matchup. Okay, when are you guys playing? Have you already played your this week's OCC game? You haven't, have you? That's next week's. I think that was last week's. Tired.
Who are you talking to me?
Well, talking to Ethel because he played last night.
I played on Monday night. I think.
Monday night.
What day is it today? Wednesday. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm playing my next game tomorrow at about 11 a.m.
Well,
So I
okay.
might stream that one.
Oh, actually, I haven't
Against
done. I haven't done the predictions for your division yet.
Ah, right. Don't forget.
Yeah, I'm just having a look at that now.
Cool.
Danton, when are you playing next week?
I sent a message to Wolf Park. I told him either tomorrow or Friday, but haven't heard back from him. I might just ping him on Discord and see what works for him.
Yeah.
Are you guys watching the Cabal Vision Nations All Stars at all?
How are you doing it?
Oh, you're breaking up again.
How did it go? Already. I've not been reading.
Well, our team we're playing Russia, which is obviously a very hard matchup, and I'm Ethel. I'm playing for South America or Latin America, and we won the first 2 matches. So Sion beat what's he called? Oh, for fuck's sake! Hang on a second. Hang on, bear with me. Yeah, your audio is making a lot of noise. Again, Cornite. Sion beat Bright. So his Skaven against High Elves, that was a really good result. Really, really tense game. And then Zaz beat World Sitar. So Dark Elves against Lizardmen, and he actually managed to beat him 3-0. So we're actually 2-0 up against Russia, which is quite unexpected, but
That's a good result.
But we can still lose it, right? Because it's best of 5. But yeah, we're in a good spot.
Right.
No,
I put myself on mute for a little while. Can you hear me again?
Just about.
Am I making lots of noise? Okay, well, I'm going to raid Eliod. Turn this thing off. It's probably
Anyway, I think it's shaping up to be a good tournament. Some of the matches are fun to watch.
Very high level.
Yeah, decent.
Oh, and actually, Danton, Misspelled Tree's playing someone from Spain right now.
Yeah, she's
Jimmy's playing versus Spain as well.
Yeah, Jimmy and Misspelled Tree are playing at the moment. They should be quite interesting matches as well.
Well, I'm sorry for my audio issues. We'll try to sort out the next time I stream.
No
Or
worries.
just never again. It'll be fine. Okay, I'll speak to you guys later.
Three
All right.
versus Yak. Yeah. All right. See you guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Cheers. Bye.
All right, raided. I don't know if you can. Oh, hi Danton. Actually gone.